Hi, my name is Sullivan Weiss. This is my video for demonstrating my network security degree objectives, of which there are 6. Under each, I have 2 to 3 assignments. So let's dig right into Objective 1. Objective 1 primarily covers network infrastructure design documentation. So as part of this, we have our VPC setup, home network setup, and business network configuration. The VPC setup shows a scalable segmented cloud environment fleshed out with ACLs, subnets, and routing. It promotes security and ease of design within AWS for any company and are good rules to follow for any deployment. The home network setup displays from soup to nuts how to, with a $500 budget, set up a home network. This is fitted with a layer 3 switch, a wireless access point, a bill of materials for said equipment, and a design to show off how everything should be connected. Lastly, within Objective 1, we have our business network configuration, which was created with Cisco Packet Tracer. This displays how we can segregate the engineering VLAN and the sales VLAN, and we also show how we configure our router with IP helpers/forwarders for a DHCP server. We go through the entire setup from start to finish. We show how it can connect, and we validate that everything can talk to one another. We'll hit our back to boards button here and go to Objective 2. Objective 2 covers security tools, implementation, and testing. Let's start off with our password manager setup, which uses an Android phone. On an Android phone, you have a secure folder. You can go through and use that to encrypt passwords in the form of notes, which are not accessible if you plug the phone in. To extract that data, you must supply a password. And it likewise goes through two-factor authentication and device-level authentication. Windows system hardening covers a Windows 10 22H2 system. We review how we can map out things like Secure Boot, BitLocker, Defender, and Duo MFA. So this shows how we can use all of our different security pieces and add them to Windows 10 to harden it, and it shows all the steps from that point. And AWS Security Solutions is a brief document that shows how we can allow or disallow certain ports to access EC2 instances via SSH. This is a short but powerful walkthrough to use on AWS. Objective 3 covers security automation by means of scripting. Within it, we have our Ansible management. With our Ansible management, we show our 3 EC2 instances, and we find our scripts to push and update all 3 EC2 instances at the same time, and then a screenshot to validate and confirm that the updates have worked. Secondly, our AWS CLI. This essentially ensures we can turn on or off EC2 instances remotely via SSH. Shows how we can use our Python script, load it onto our server, push it to the AWS, connect it, test it, and screenshots to confirm. Objective 4 looks into policy and procedures. So it covers events like disaster recovery and business continuity, which our first document covers. We create a full company which uses 80 users, 3 hosts with a vSAN and 1 MDF and 2 IDFs for networking. We then demonstrate how we can take this and spin up a warm site off on the cloud to ensure that there's little to no downtime for an environment that typically uses on-premise infrastructure with verification steps. Secondly, our incident response plan covers, in the event of a compromise, how we can most efficiently approach the compromise as a company. So taking key stakeholders, IT teams, legal counsel, senior management, and synergizing everyone so that they achieve the same goal. For Objective 5, This covers the legal, ethical, and compliance side of security. So for compliance, we have our best practices in terms of naming schemas for EC2 instances. So for example, if something named DC01 on AWS was compromised, we want to ensure that things like DC02 were not likewise compromised as they live laterally on the network. This just gives you the best practices for naming, ensuring that they are in a human readable format so you can easily identify and determine next steps. The cloud migration outline shows how to take a on-premise infrastructure and fully migrate, not as like a failback as described in Objective 4, but as a full migration to the cloud. So this outlines compute resources, our databases, storage, security, monitoring, and networking. And we show how we do that in stages. Lastly, Objective 6 covers security threats, risks, and mitigation evaluation for current systems, of which we have our VPN creation and evaluation for OpenVPN. We have outlined essentially from start to finish how we can set up OpenVPN on a local Ubuntu server, how we can set up the certificates, push them to a AWS instance, ensuring that we can connect via OpenVPN from anywhere, and it shows our keys to validate. UFW firewall configuration. We look into allowing or disallowing certain ports on again, an Ubuntu server, and showing how we can disallow and allow ports to keep business operations rolling while lessening attack surfaces. The final objective I have here, or the final assignment for Objective 6, demonstrates by leveraging group policy to enforce ICMP restrictions and centralized logging. So we essentially have our firewall, our group policy, and our CMD to test ping. And later in the video, we show how I have everything logged and seeing how certain ports are blocked, or certain IP addresses are blocked while others are allowed, and showing that the group policy and the firewall with advanced protection functions as expected. This has been Sullivan Weiss with Network Security. Thank you.